So there's no money in abstinence. So there's not like there's somebody out there really promoting us and working for us. We are so lucky to have people like Art who go out of their way to do the right things and try to help people stay sober long term. And I give you Art Kleinschmidt.
Thank you, Duke. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you all. This is a beautiful facility, by the way, so I'm really impressed with it all. I'm very grateful to be here. Yeah, I was appointed by the President to work in the White House at the Office of National Drug Control Policy. I don't know if anybody saw the movie Traffic, but Kirk Douglas's role, I would have been like the deputy Kirk Douglas, and so it's a big honor to have served for the probably past number of years in the White House. In addition to that, I'm also a recovering addict. I got 19 years clean. But my story starts in New Orleans. So I was using quite a bit in city New Orleans, running around New Orleans. And the last couple of years of my use was actually the beginning of the opioid crisis. So if anybody saw the documentary, The Pharmacist, I was actually on the opposite side of that spectrum running around, and I remember what it was really like. I'm very grateful, and I'm very much on board with what Duke is doing here. I actually became a licensed clinician, and I worked in treatment. So it was actually amazing that I was actually appointed from doing what I was doing, because all I was going to do was work with addicts and try to help them find recovery, the same gift that I had. And this is where I remember early on, it actually went on for about 2 years, I had what I called the now whats, right? So I've been like sober 30 days, now what? I've been sober 45 days, now what? 60 days, now what? So it took me quite a while to actually try to find and work myself through into recovery. I remember in the big book, Alcoholics Anonymous, I don't know if y'all do that, but they talk about the promises that they materialize sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. So that was something that I really highlighted in the book, and I lived by, and I tried to keep faith. And so from there, I never would have imagined that I would have been like somebody who was down and out, deserted on with addiction, who could actually sort of work in the White House. And from there, I even got a security clearance that was above top secret. So I never would have thought that that was possible. So with a program like what Duke has, where people can learn that you can actually have fun in recovery, that you can actually have fun in life, and that there's other ways to actually enjoy and apply your gifts to a real life situation and to be successful, I think is amazing. I used to tell my clients that recovery is really going to happen once you leave treatment, and what's it going to look like there. So I think the more support that you can have, like with Duke's program, I think is truly amazing. So I feel blessed to have speak with you all today. And I wish everybody great luck. I got to talk to a few of you all also. So y'all take care. Okay, bye-bye.
And I know you're all waiting right now for this next introduction. I give you Asa.
White Sands. Let's make some noise. Guys, thank you for coming out. I want to say a couple things. I want to say thank you for Mr. Rodney Grimes. Everyone give it up. Miss America, give it up. And I do want to say, Duke, and everybody at Sober AF Entertainment, Sober and Fun Entertainment, I do want to say a huge thank you. On behalf of Gary Jonas, the owner of White Sands, myself, everybody here at White Sands, basically, we are super excited. We are fully in support of this event. It's actually a pleasure and honor of ours just to be a part of this. So the clients, everybody here, the patients at White Sands, you know, our philosophy is we got to find a way to have fun while being sober. all right? And you know I preach this day in, day out, all the activities, the recreation, everything we do here, White Sands, putting on these events, the boxing events at KO Addiction. This is why Mr. Jonas provides this fitness center, all these cool things we can do here. We really believe that we must, in order to remain sober, we must be healthy, we must be active. That's why I daily encourage you guys to keep coming to the gym, come and do the boxing, come and do the fitness program, cardio, anything. So we are happy, we're excited. Thank you everybody for coming out. I hope everyone's enjoying the event. Again, thank you for Duke, Camille, Randy, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I hope you're having fun. My name is Marvin Ventrell and I'm the CEO here at the National Association of Addiction Treatment Providers. And my friend Duke Rumley asked me to say a few words to you today. I'm happy to do that. You know, we're big fans of Sober AF here at NAATP because it provides such an essential service, and that service is community. Community is what keeps us well and allows us to thrive. So I'm so happy that Sober AF exists and you're able to do what you're doing today. I hope you do it safely. Please take care of each other, wear your masks. And by the way, as soon as you can get the vaccine, please get the vaccine. The vaccine is safe and effective. So COVID took away our community to a large extent last year, and that's been really hard on a lot of us. It's especially been hard on newer folks. So I'm glad we're starting to get that back. It's such an essential part of recovery. So I hope you have a blast. I hope you enjoy the game. I hope it's a good game. I'm a little confused about myself here because I find myself for the first time cheering for Tom Brady, and as a Denver Broncos fan, that's not something we do, but go figure. We'll see what happens. Take care, whether you're a Chiefs fan or a Bucks fan. I hope you have a blast.
Hi, I'm Dave Ehrenberg, State Attorney for Palm Beach County here in sunny South Florida, and I'm joined by Al Johnson, Chief Assistant State Attorney, who heads our Sober Homes Task Force. We want to congratulate Duke and everyone involved with this amazing Super Bowl celebration as part of Sober AF's halftime program. I think what you're doing is really important because you are giving the community a safe place to celebrate, avoiding alcohol, drugs, avoiding people who are under the influence. And so you are really providing a real service to the community, and we congratulate you. Also, it's not lost on us that Sober AF stands for Sober Alcohol-Free or Sober Alternative Fun. We can't curse here in the office, so we're very happy that it's a clean AF. I just want you to know that we here in Palm Beach County will continue our fight against the exploiting of people in sober homes and drug treatment, because we want our industry, our drug treatment industry here in this county, to be the cleanest, the one with the most integrity, the one that gets people well, to lead the country with our toughest laws, with our best oversight, and with an industry that can be a model for everywhere else. We are working hard on that. And I'm going to turn over to Al to tell you about some of the progress we've made and some of the things that we're going to be doing moving forward. But we're all on the same page here. We work from a law enforcement perspective to try to help those get a meaningful, lasting recovery and to stop those who would exploit them. We have put handcuffs on about 113 different people since we started this effort in October of 2016. Our Sober Homes Task Force is alive and well, and so is Sober AF. So kudos to you. Al?
I agree. Kudos and a good job. And it takes really does take a village. Everybody, this is an all hands on deck situation. And so far as the Sober Homes Task Force, we have accomplished much. We've changed the laws in Florida, but there's more to do. And especially in light of the pandemic and the scourge of fentanyl across not only our state but the nation, we have seen things move in the wrong direction. But we continue the fight. And with folks like you and others throughout the industry, the good players, the good providers, and the folks that are lending a hand to sobriety, we can beat this. We can triumph. And good luck. And I'm not going to recommend either team, but we'll have a great Super Bowl party.
Well, let me finish on that. As a Floridian, I'm always rooting for the Florida team, but as a Miami Dolphins fan, I admit it's very hard to root for Tom Brady. But go Florida teams.
During the pandemic, we've seen substance abuse, we've seen opioid abuse, we've seen alcoholism abuse all go up. We can do something by supporting people, by supporting recovery programs, by getting the word out on the front end, education and prevention. The opioid epidemic is only getting worse during this pandemic, and we're losing people to overdose every day. What we're doing in our office is being all in, fighting to get dollars from companies who've pushed out these pills. We'll hold them accountable. And the money we'll get will support education and prevention, support recovery and treatment programs that so many people need and aren't getting helped. All of us can do our part as we support one another and work to save lives. That's what we're doing here at the Department of Law. I thank all of you committed to this work.
Hey guys, I'm Camille. I am Miss America 2020, which is pretty cool. Thank you. I'm really excited to be here. I'm based out of Richmond in Philadelphia, so I'm not standing where the camera is, which is very typical of what I would do, but I'm also not tall enough to look over this thing because I am a little short. But I have dedicated my entire time as Miss America, and people don't really understand what the job of Miss America is. Oftentimes people assume that I'm just the girl with the crown on who just waves at people. That's not what my job is. So my job is really to advance whatever social cause I think is important to me. And I am a doctor of pharmacy student, so I talk a lot about drug safety and abuse prevention. I'm trying to keep people from falling into addiction, but also educating our country about what addiction looks like, what substance use disorders are, and why that's actually a disease. It's something that happens in your brain. It's not a moral failing. It's something that so many people across this country deal with. And as someone who potentially could be giving someone a substance as a pharmacist, I feel like I have a responsibility to talk about this. And there's such a misunderstanding in our communities about what all of you face as people in recovery, and that needs to change. So that's something that I'm really passionate about, and that's what I've dedicated my year to. And so I get to come to really cool things like this, and I'm really excited that Sober.AF Entertainment exists, because I'm someone who likes to choose to not participate in substances, although I'm not in recovery, and sometimes that can be really awkward because no one asks you, if you have a drink one night and then you choose the next to not have a drink, no one, if people will be like, why aren't you doing that today? People don't ask you that if you don't order a salad 2 nights in a row. It's not the same. And so having spaces like this where it can be really fun and celebrate something like the Super Bowl, I'm really excited to be here with you all. And I'd love to chat with each of you individually. You can come up and find me. I would love to talk to you. So come find me. I'm not scary. I'd love to chat. But thank you so much for allowing me to be here. It's really an honor.
I would like to pull up Miss America once again, 2020. Camille Schreier. She is amazing. So she is here. I got to watch her yesterday at a veterans amputee wounded warrior event. So she is someone who really has taken this platform and really used it for being other-centered. And as a guy who's selfish, I appreciate somebody who thinks outside of themselves, and I'd like to give you Camille.
Thank you, Duke. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. I wanted to tell you a little bit about how I ended up choosing this issue as the one that I wanted to advocate for. And it's not the story that you might expect, because I don't have anyone in my family who has faced substance use disorder. I don't have alcoholism in my family. And so sometimes a lot of people ask me, well, why did you choose this? Because do you really understand what it's like to deal with these issues in your family and you didn't deal with them yourself? And it was interesting because I grew up with a mom that was a nurse and was very cognizant about all the substances that I put in my body, whether or not they were over-the-counter drugs, medicines, or alcohol, or any of those kinds of things. It was something that I was really aware of. And when I got to college, I started to see people who misused and coped with alcohol and substances. And then I got into pharmacy school. And I remember going to a Narcan training. And I was like, what is Narcan? And I was like, you know what? I didn't even understand what addiction was. I didn't understand how it affected people. I didn't understand why people couldn't just stop using certain substances. And it really gave me empathy for people who have a different background than I do. And so now I get the opportunity to advocate for this on a really national scale, whether or not it's those who face substance use disorders or accidental overdoses from just prescription medication. That's a huge problem that we have. I do so much work to be able to allow people who face this to be able to reintegrate and have successful opportunities. So even when I'm with like business owners and I talk to them about if you want to make an impact on your community and help people in recovery, hire someone who's in recovery. Actively seek out people who are changing their life and give them the opportunity to have that leg up and get back. And that's something that's really important to me, and so I'm grateful to be here. I'm really proud of everyone who is here who is in recovery. I know that it's not easy. One of the things that I often talk about is how recovery is a chronic disease, kind of like diabetes, right? So like, no one would judge you if you had diabetes. People would say, okay, you take your insulin, you manage your diabetes every day. And that's kind of how recovery works. And I think that people expect that if you're in recovery, then one day you wake up and you're like, I'm never gonna do this again, but that's not reality. And it's a constant battle, and I recognize that, and I'm trying to let other people understand that, because I think that once people do understand it, they have a very different level of understanding and empathy for that. So I'm grateful to be here, grateful to do this work, and thanks for having me. Thank you. I'm back again. Are you guys sick of hearing from me yet? Maybe, maybe not. One of the interesting things that I've been able to see this year, you know, I'm someone that has spent the entire time that I've been Miss America talking about medication safety, substance use disorders. And there was this like little thing that happened in the world that kind of overshadowed all of it. It was weird. There was like a pandemic that happened. And it's been really frustrating because I haven't been able to do as much of the work that I wanted to do this year. So that's why part of the reason why I'm really glad that I can be here today, because it's not necessarily something that I can do virtually, right? And so I do a lot of science education for kids, and I like sat in my house and I made science videos for elementary schools, which was super fun and cool. But like you can't like necessarily like reduce stigma from your house, and you can't really talk about recovery with people like one-on-one from your house. And so that was something that was kind of disappointing for me, and it was one of like the biggest disappointments of my year, kind of, is that I couldn't do those things in person like I wanted to. And one of the other things is like, if you think about, okay, right now the numbers are like almost 220 people every day that lose their life just to an opioid overdose every day. We lose like 1,000 people a day of COVID. Okay, that's like a fifth of the number of people that are affected and lose their life from COVID. And that's not to be morbid, but in the same respect, the country doesn't even seem to necessarily care quite as much about those 200 people because they blame it on those people for making a bad decision or making a decision because their body is struggling with something. And that breaks my heart, because we talk about and we memorialize all these people that have lost their lives to a virus. Their lives matter too, but so do all of the people who lose their lives to substances. And it's overshadowed it so much. And so I think that it's important that we do things like this today and that we have organizations like Sober.AF that talk about this all the time, because it is important, and everyone who faces this matters, and hopefully we'll get to the point where all of those numbers are zero. That's the goal, right? But it's been disappointing to see how much COVID has overshadowed this, but it's important as well to think about all of the other pandemics and epidemics that are happening in our country. And that's what I get to do with my job. So I'm excited to be here again today. If you haven't gotten a picture with me and want one, don't be shy. Come get me. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Hi, everybody. My name is Brandy Winans. I'm our chapter engagement coordinator for our NFL alumni Tampa Bay chapter, secretary treasurer, sometimes den mother. This is such an exciting day for us today in Tampa Bay because we have our Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing our Kansas City Chiefs right here in our own hometown, making history of the first time that any team has been able to play in their hometown. So we are excited for Super Bowl 55. It's hard to believe because my husband was in Super Bowl 15. He was a former player with Buffalo, Tampa, and the Raiders. But I really just wanted to say hi. I'm so sorry. I was supposed to be there today. I'm on my way to the stadium. But I wanted to give you a few words of encouragement, and I wanted to congratulate Duke Rumley, Randy Grimes, everybody that is participating, the staff that's putting on this fabulous, fabulous Safe Bowl today. Just thinking about the entertainment that you have today and having the Miss America there that I met yesterday at the event that I was helping to put on with the Wounded Warrior amputee breakfast and dog walk. But I just wanted to give you a few words of encouragement today because I'm so proud of you for being where you are today. You are taking that first step to recovery, and that is so important. It doesn't matter. Maybe this is your first time. Maybe it's your sixth. But if Randy can talk to you today about that. And my husband also had an addiction problem due to being disabled from football at 30 years old. But you know what? We worked through it. And I'm so proud of each and every one of you. I just want to give you one last word. It's through our past that we gain our future. I wrote a book called The Flip Side of Glory. So we can get through it, and you can get through it together and with family. And if you don't have family, you can get through it with support groups. But I'm so proud of you. Never give up. Follow your dreams. Remember, it's through our past that we gain our future. And go Bucks today. We hope that we will take that Lombardi trophy home. God bless each and every one of you.
Hey everybody, thank you again for being here and for listening to me for a second. You know, I work here at White Sands, so I know I don't see a lot of you a lot, but I'm traveling and doing, and where am I supposed to be? I just wanted to share a little bit about my story. My story started as a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I was that guy willing to do whatever I had to stay out on the field because I was not going to get that reputation of always being on the injury report or always missing practice, because that was a reputation you were never going to get away from in what was sure to be a short NFL career. So that meant taking handfuls of pain pills for me and staying out there on the field, practicing through the injuries, playing through the injuries. And, you know, I looked at it like a necessary evil, not for what it really was, which was a full-blown addiction. I wanted to be the best center that ever played the game. I wanted to feed my family. I wanted to play the game forever. I never thought I was going to take that necessary evil into my private life and when I retired. And that's when things really spiraled out of control. When I didn't have those enablers, those team doctors, team trainers, teammates. And for the next 20-plus years, my life spiraled out of control. But September 22nd of 2009 is when I finally put up my hand and asked for help. And life's been great ever since. I started a nonprofit called Athletes in Recovery. Actually, it's called professionalathletesinrecovery.org. Because when I came into treatment, there was no resources out there for former NFL players. There were 17,000 guys out there who, just like me, were self-medicating the injuries they got while they played in the NFL, and there was no resources out there for them. So I started Athletes in Recovery. We started reaching out to guys. It became so successful. We helped so many former players who had nothing, gone through everything, lost everything. Helped so many of those guys. Major League Baseball got involved, NBA, NHL, the Jockeys Guild, the Motorsports Safety Group, NASCAR, LPGA, the PGA. All these former athlete groups got involved because when guys didn't have that uniform to put on anymore, they didn't have that locker room to sit in, when they didn't have that playbook in front of them anymore, they struggled. So it's been a great opportunity for me to give back this gift that was given to me, and that's what I try to do every day. When I look out over you guys, you know, I want you all to have that same gift too. So thank you for the opportunity, and here, Duke.
My name is Joe Ducey. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of White Sands Treatment Centers, and my responsibilities are the day-to-day operations of the facility, make sure that the patients are getting the quality of the care that they need and deserve, that our staff members are taking care of them, answering to all their needs. There was nothing like this when I went to treatment. So essentially you were locked in group rooms all day. You were being moved around as a herd in treatment. There was really no individualized care to the treatment. But as far as KO addiction is concerned, I didn't really see the connection at first in terms of how this is going to help people. But now that I have seen it, there's very noticeable benefits to treatment. And quite frankly, I'm looking to get into it myself and work with the trainers, with the boxers, just because I see the benefit that a lot of the patients have gotten out of it. And as I said, I'm in recovery, and you know, I struggle with my own issues, and I think this will also help me, quite frankly. We see very positive stories every day, and generally people tend to be a little hesitant at first when they're trying something new, but I could tell you that hands down 100% of the time, for the people that do engage and participate on a regular basis, one story after another, how it's helped them cope with trauma, how it's helped them to have something to focus on when they leave here, that now they want to be able to continue to do the boxing because they see the therapeutic benefit that they're getting out of it in treatment. So if they're getting that out of our treatment here and out of KO addiction and on a limited basis, then when they go back home, that helps them to sustain longer term sobriety. You know, being in treatment is the easy part. It's going back home when things continue to, you know, start to happen. Life happens. You know, you have issues at work, you have issues at home. This gives them a way to channel all of that. So it's been very therapeutic. I could think of 20 or 30 people off the top of my head that when they came in here, they didn't want to try it. And once they tried it, quite frankly, they became obsessed with it. And now they wanted to be back in the gym most of the time as opposed to being up front and doing more therapy. But so there is very definite positive effects from having it here, and I look to continue it going into the future and actually rolling this out at one of our other facilities that we have in Fort Myers, just because the benefits have been so tangible.
So we appreciate that. I just want you to know how important the Super Bowl is to me. This is a national holiday. We get to stay sober through it. 33 years ago, I was arrested in Mexico, and I didn't get out for a week, and my mom had to fly down and bail me out of jail. And she negotiated the price from $25,000 down to $4,000, let me stay in there a couple extra days. So that was the beginning of me getting sober, and that is part of my story. But we had the sober raver here today. Chelsea is a friend of mine. She's an amazing artist, and she's got a different path, but she is sober at raves and at different music festivals. And I wanted to introduce you to her and kind of hear that there's another group out there that's also sober.
Thank you so much for having me, Duke, and thank you to this treatment center for having me. It's a pleasure. So my name is Chelsea Cahoon. As he said, I'm known as the Sober Raver, and all of my life I have been drug and alcohol free. When I was a young kid, I just knew that it wasn't the life that I wanted to live, and instead of using substances, I've actually chosen music to get high off of. And that's why I started my company, Music is the Drug. And the mission of Music is the Drug is to show the world that whether you use substances or not, music is the ultimate drug that unites every single one of us. So when I'm going to these music festivals and these raves, I'm just trying to show people that music is the ultimate drug, no matter if you use substances or not, and you're completely enough without them. I've been to over 30 music festivals around the world. Last year I was supposed to start vending and doing a little bit more with it, but I'm hoping to work with this awesome guy named Duke and his amazing company. I'm so thankful for him. He's amazing. And Lewis down there with Aftershock, we just have some amazing people here. We're gonna do some amazing things in this community and really just show people that substances aren't needed. No judgment at all, but substances are not needed. You are enough, you are powerful, you are strong, completely on your own. Trust me, I've done it my whole life. I went to a party school where there's drugs, alcohol, everything all around me, and I never once let them get me because I knew that I was strong enough to just show them. I was like, hey, sober partying is fun as well. I would go to the fraternities, I would go to the sororities, and I would go hard. I would freaking headbang just like this, going hard as heck, because I just wanted to show everybody that you can have fun without it, and I am proof. And I just want every single one of you guys in here to know that you are enough, you are strong enough, and you do not have to listen to peer pressure. If anybody's ever pressuring you, get away from them. Surround yourself with good, positive people always. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, strong support system is key. That is how I've continued to stay sober my whole life, is having good people around me, and luckily, I do have a good support system. So I just want to say thank you guys for having me here. Thank you for letting me share my heart with you guys, and just know that you're amazing, completely on your own, okay? I want you to leave today knowing that.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Woo.
My name is Corey, and today is day 29 at White Sands for me. Honestly, White Sands did a lot more than I would have ever expected. As far as just my classes go, I'm able to learn a lot more than I have previously. Between my counselors, I've been able to open up myself a lot more and really kind of dig some things up that have stuck with me for a long time and kind of pushed me into my addiction itself. Being here, I'm able to break down those barriers. Classes are one thing. My favorite part of it all, though, it's got to be the gym. It's the weights here are insane, different types of machines, and the coaching between Asa and Ernest. They extremely knowledgeable in boxing, but as well as weightlifting. I've been able to get a lot more help and get more in detail about my training, kind of getting back to it and in my own routine. It's done a lot for me. Puts me in routine every day. I'm on a schedule, so my classes go from my 8:30 all the way until 3:30. Obviously, we get breaks in between, but once I'm able to get out of my classes and get down here to the gym, I know I'm in my happy place. My endorphins going, everything feels good. No matter what's going on in my day, I know I can come here and I'll be able to get a much better positive outlook on everything. Things that really stick out, though, for me, I mean, my staff is amazing. As far as all of our techs go, I haven't had an issue with any of them. And I can be a little bit temperamental at times, so that says a lot for me. Being here it's been a great opportunity for me, and I'm glad I was actually able to do an extension even. And so now I'll be here for an additional 2.5 more weeks than I had expected. So more time in boxing style, being able to learn a little bit. I've done wrestling in my past. Boxing is a whole different ball game, and I definitely realized I didn't even have the stamina to do it when I had gotten here. So now being able to get on the bag and actually do 10 3-minute rounds is amazing for me. Again, I'd say it again, but I'm learning a lot, and being around everybody here is awesome. I don't think I could have chosen somewhere better to go. I have been in treatment before, and this is by far is a whole different element. This is great, and I really dedicate a lot of this to the staff, but my coaching here. It's even between my therapist and in the gym. It's a different outlook. It helps me. It makes me feel good day to day knowing that I have somebody, no matter what goes on in my day, I can come and I can speak to them. And everyone is very open. Everyone is going to be able to give me all sides of what I'm looking into, no matter what it is, whether even it's outside that goes on. And obviously we still deal with that, but here they treat you like family, and that means a lot for me.